Hey kids, we're back. This is Guitar Quackery Live. You're watching a live stream. I already sent the link to the customer, to the owner of this guitar. It's my second attempt at this live stream. We have this guitar on the bench. It's the old Martin 0017. So I already did a bunch of work on it. And I'm rebuilding this saddle. So we need to talk about this. So what I did last time was I put the saddle in, and I put the strings on the guitar. I'm just checking the nut real quick. And now I left it, you know, for a couple of days with the strings at full tension. And now we want to look at it just to see how much to lower the saddle. I built this saddle too tall, so we need to trim it. Now, I did quickly look at this guitar, and the action seems to be very high. So we're going to look at everything closely. So what happens when a guitar is strung up is two things. The neck goes in this direction a little bit, and the soundboard goes in this direction. So we have what's called soundboard deflection. Now, one thing that always worried me about this guitar is the fact that, you know, we're seeing a little gap here. So it's minuscule. This happens on Martin guitars. This part of the neck joint was never glued in. That's how Martin guitars are built. It has a, well, how these Martin guitars are built. So it has a dovetail joint, I believe. And they install the neck after they finish the body and after they finish the neck. So there's no overspray in the actual neck joint. So this guitar had, I believe, a bridge shave in the past, maybe a slight bridge shave, because the neck is a little bit off. Now, I am a little bit worried when I'm just looking at the action without measuring anything that it's super high, and I hope we can resolve everything with the saddle height compensation. Now, one thing does work to our advantage is the fact that the break angle is too severe. The break angle of the strings. Let's just maybe position the camera in the right place. So here, we can see that the string break angle is too severe, right? So this will be reduced when we lower the saddle. So that's what's working to our advantage. So we kind of want to lower the saddle as much as we can so that we don't have too steep of a break angle here. Okay, and that's just because of the design of this bridge. It's slim, and these holes are very close to the saddle. That's how they made it. So I'm going to show you the action on the 12th fret. It does look very high. Higher than I was hoping. So I just got to reposition the camera so it catches okay, so this is what we see. Here it is. The action on the 12th fret. That's the 12th fret right here. So it's very, very high, and it's much higher than I expected it to be. I'm just turning on this light so that we can measure the action. You can see it's off the chart. So 140 is considered high action, but this is over 140. So how do we even measure it? Well, good luck using this scale here. I can never make any sense of it. So there's a simpler way. A simpler way is to simply do something very simple. We take an object of a known thickness and we add it to the fret height. Okay, so in this case, maybe a fret rocker will do. So I'm placing it here on the 12th fret. Okay, let's go back to this view. And now I measure the action here. So I think we can call it 100, maybe 95-ish or 100. 100, okay, plus whatever this is. So now we can take a measurement of this. And obviously we want to use the same units, which is decimal inches. So let's adjust this. So here we have the caliper. Now we're in millimeters. Zero, change units, we are in inches, okay? And now I'm going to take a measurement of this. And this is what? 85 almost 1/1000th of an inch. So I'm going to call it 80 because that height was not quite 100. So now I'm going to call this height 180. Okay, 180. That's quite high. So I'm going to close the door because Dr. Brandon here is vacuuming, which is a good thing, but I'm sure you can hear me because I have a dynamic microphone. So 180. So this is off this chart, and it's 80 1/1000th of an inch over where we want to be on the base side for an ideal setup. So now we need to measure the height of the saddle. So that means 80 1/1000th of an inch over the ideal height. So this means that if we need to lower the string here by 80 1/1000ths, we do that by lowering the string here 160 1/1000ths, double that. Now obviously we want to make sure that the truss rod is properly adjusted, but the thing is that this guitar doesn't have a truss rod. And we already determined previously that it doesn't even have enough of a relief. So the neck is kind of too straight. I can show you that. Place the straight edge here. Let's put the neck rest closer to the heel of the neck. So this is 3/1000ths of an inch. 4/1000ths doesn't really go through. Okay, so the last thickness that goes through is 3/1000ths of an inch, and it's the same on this side. 3/1000ths. 4/1000ths. Okay, barely goes through. It's kind of scraping, right? So 3/1000ths of an inch. So I can show it here on this camera. It's this one. It should really be like 6/1000ths, but you know, this will do. If you know, it's going to be fine. If we don't have uneven frets, it's fine. So now we need to lower the saddle 161/1000ths of an inch on the base side, and that's a lot. So we want to take a measurement of the saddle height as it is right now. I'm not sure that we, well, let's see. Okay, so that's it. And we have here 198/1000ths of an inch. Okay. So when we remove from this 180/1000ths of an inch, we are going to be left with 12/1000ths of an inch, right? We can do this like this with 0 here. And here I go minus 180. About, you know, that's pretty much it. So this is going to be our remaining saddle height. Okay. Okay, this is what's going to be remaining, okay, of the saddle height. So that's, you know, so 180 we take off. That's it, okay. So this is going to be what remains. A very low saddle on the base side. So what can we do to avoid doing a neck reset? Well, like I said, this bridge been shaved before on top. That's why it's rounded off like this. So I did say that one thing that works to our advantage is the fact that the strings, the break angle is, you know, too severe. So how does that work to our advantage? Let's have a look again. Here we see it. So if we shave down the saddle, it's not going to be tall enough as measured from this height. But this height from the soundboard to here is still pretty tall. So we can still shave the bridge a little bit. And all of that work is going to reduce this break angle, which is going to work to our advantage, I believe. So that's that. Now, on the other side, we have obviously a different situation, and we need to assess that. So first, let's measure the height of the string. And, you know, I need to use an auxiliary light. So I have this here. It's going to work better than this one. Let's move the guitar. Okay, cool. So with old guitars, you know, sometimes you gotta work with them. Okay? It's like old people. Do we want to do like a spine surgery when someone's really old, or can we do something else to make their lives comfortable? That's what we're looking at here. An old guitar. What can we do without a neck reset, but that's still going to work? And I think it will work. But let's take a measurement. Here, we're focused on the high E string. So let's see. Take a measurement of the height. Okay, I'm going to call it 150. Okay, 150. We want to go down to 80. So this works like this, right? So to go down to 140 is 20, 40, 60, 80. Then 100 to 100 is 100, and then 120, and then down to 80, 140. So 160 1/1000 of an inch shaved off the saddle to lower this string to where it needs to be, 160. For the string here, 140. And now we do the same thing again. We need to measure the saddle height over there. Even when we were first assessing the guitar, way back when we started this project, we did say, you know, kind of like ideally, you know, the guitar, technically speaking, you know, could use a neck reset. Okay, zero out. And we measure this height like this. Okay. So what do we have? 187, 88, right? So down to 140. So we got to remove 140. So let's zero this. And let's go to minus 141 thousandths. That's it. Okay. Lock it. This is going to be the remaining saddle height on the treble side if we don't shave the bridge. Now, there's enough height on the bridge to shave it a little more on the bass side. We can shave it a little more on the treble side. This will give us the opportunity to finish this line a little bit better. And it's also going to reduce the break angles. I'm not going to shave it a lot. Well, I actually need approval from the customer. Obviously, he's either watching this now or he will be watching the replay. So I'm not going to shave anything until I get the okay. But that's going to be my recommendation. So what are the alternatives? There are alternatives, two of them that I can think of. One alternative would be to simply have slightly higher action and the guitar is still playable. Maybe we can do, instead of 80 1/1000ths and 100 1/1000ths, we can still do 80 and maybe 120 on the bass side. That's easy. Okay, then we don't need to shave the bridge. And the only other alternative is to do a neck reset. And I already discussed that with the customer when he was dropping it off. We were discussing that, and we said we really don't want to do that. Okay, and that's what I'm working with. Okay, so yeah, so it's important to do this kind of stress test, because last time when I fitted the saddle, I said now we tune the guitar to pitch and we let it sit for a few days. We let it settle and then we take the measurements. Because if I had done the work on the same day, we would discover higher action within a few days. Okay. We can also, those are 12 gauge strings, with an old guitar, that you want to play more gently. We can also use 11 gauge strings, any guitars with any kind of structural issues or whatever, they're not going to be high performance guitars. So we can do that as well, in addition to what we're doing. So that's kind of the direction that I want to recommend. So let me repeat that. Either we do a little bit of a bridge shave correction right there, or we don't. If we don't, then we can still hit 80 1/1000ths of an inch on the treble side, but we raise it up to 120 instead of 100 on the bass side. And, that's not going to be bad, or really hard to play. You're not going to feel it on the F chord. You're going to feel it when you do like a bar chord on the C, maybe, Maybe it's going to throw those bass notes higher up the fretboard on the bass side, a little bit off. I'm not even sure what the intonation is now, if it's even good or not. Let's take a quick measurement. So I'm measuring the scale length. It falls in between 24.9 and 24.75. All right, so just estimating here. Actually, the intonation should be quite good. There's quite enough compensation, especially on just barely right, I think. And we can also maybe work in a little extra compensation on the saddle. I don't know. Obviously that adds to the, work, but so here's where I'm at. Obviously I'm going to discuss it with the customer. There are, technically speaking, 3 solutions as discussed. We don't want to do a neck reset. Therefore, there are 2 solutions if we don't want to do a neck reset. And I need to sleep on it. The customer needs to view this and sleep on it. Then I'm going to discuss it with the customer. And then he is going to decide. Okay, friends, that's it. Okay, 5 of you watching, 0 likes so far. So nobody liked anything? Nobody learned anything? Yeah, you just forgot. I get it. Because this was such an interesting program, you just forgot to click. Oh, 1 like. Thank you. So, for those of you who are new to this channel, this is Guitar Quackery Live. I do live streams unannounced. United Bill 40 just came in. Okay, so let me explain this. I do live streams from the workbench unannounced. Customers get to watch as I work on their guitars. And I kind of do tutorials. So this is uncut, unedited, unsanitized, all raw footage. So it takes a while to watch through, but sometimes I can chat, sometimes not. I can answer questions sometimes. So if you like the idea of catching me in real time, the only way to get notified is to click the subscribe button and the bell icon notification. Then you get notified if I'm live or not, or if I'm streaming live. I do interesting projects here, and sometimes interesting things occur during those projects. So there's also the other channel, Guitar Quackery. So this channel is called Guitar Quackery Live, 2 different channels. So the other channel has produced content, edited and sanitized. So here, let's say if I drop a hammer on the guitar, it's going to be included and archived forever. I also discover things on guitars sometimes. So if I find money, then I have to give it back to the customer, because obviously, you know, I can't hide it. Yeah. But I do find interesting things on guitars. Yeah. Anyway, no pressure. If you like it. Oh, Dr. Martini is here. And we just got another viewer. Sorry, last viewer, but we are wrapping up here. This was a very informative live stream. So if you just came in, maybe you want to watch the replay. It's really up to you. Thank you, guys. You can always click the link that says buy me a coffee if you feel like you want to buy me a coffee. No pressure, really. No worries if you don't. We're still friends. I'm just saying, it's there. It helps to keep the lights on. Okay. And, you know, it's fuel for me to work late and do these live streams. Okay, that's it. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you some other time. Thank you. Bye.